Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is FARISHA and my matrix number is 2025435806. And today I'm going to start our session with a speech titled Euthanasia, Mercy, or MOHD. Now we will see some expression that is in common to anyone and kind. This is David Gonda. Who is he, you might ask, and what he's doing here? Now, a long story short, he was a scientist that traveled to Switzerland to end his life. Shortly before his end his life, he said he was happy to end his life. Now, the question is that mercy or murder? Then how about the cases that have been developed in medical history? For example, in Dutch around 2016, there was a doctor that was accused of failing to verify the consent before performing euthanasia on a dementia patient. Is that mercy? Today I would like to inform you about euthanasia, where we will dig further into the definition of euthanasia, type, law, ethical, moral of it. Now, let us explore the topic further by introducing you to the definition, type, and the status of euthanasia. The term euthanasia derives from the Greek words eu, meaning good, and thanatos, meaning death. Thus, it refers to a gentle and easy death. We can see that this practice has been used since ages ago. Euthanasia is the act of deliberately ending a person's life to relieve suffering, some might say. Then I will proceed to the type of euthanasia. The first one is voluntary euthanasia, where a person made a conscious decision to die and asks for help to do so. One thing that people almost get confused in with the physician-assisted suicide, where the patient will administer the medication themselves. Make no mistake, but euthanasia is the procedure where a doctor is going to end your life. Secondly, non-voluntary euthanasia is where a person is unable to give consent. For example, they become coma and another person takes the decision on their behalf. This is what we call to relieve their suffering. Then we have active and passive euthanasia, where active euthanasia is direct act intentionally cause death, such as administering lethal dose of medication to the patient, while the passive euthanasia is withholding or withdrawing life-sustaining treatment that allowing natural death. Before going into our next issues, I would like to touch a little bit about the status of euthanasia. Do you know in almost every country it has a different opinion on this issue? So from what I have found, that the act of euthanasia itself is legal in some countries such as Netherlands, Belgium, Canada, and Switzerland, which has allowing euthanasia under specific and stringent criteria. Meanwhile, some US states and Australia is allowing physician-assisted suicide in certain states. Last but not least, it is illegal in Malaysia, United Kingdom, and also Turkey, and many more. So, after understanding what is euthanasia and how it is classified, we can now examine the legal and ethical issues around it. We're moving on to the legal issue. What issues, you might ask? The legality of euthanasia varies across the countries. Legal in some countries under strict regulation like the country I've been mentioned before. So, first and foremost, Australia is the first place which legalized euthanasia, both passive and active, as well as the assisted suicide. Meanwhile, we can see for the Belgium that is legalizing this euthanasia, but it is under strict law, but it's not for assisted suicide. For instance, to terminally ill children on condition that the patient must be conscious of their decision and understand the meaning of euthanasia. And also, the request must be approved by the child's parents and medical team. The amendment emphasizes that the patient request must be voluntary. Other conditions usually includes incurable illness, unbearable suffering, where thus multiple procedures need to be completed before undergoing euthanasia. Last but not least, we have arrived to the last issues, the ethical perspective of euthanasia. It touches a number of recognizing moral dilemma. It seems as mercy when we think about it for someone who is terminally ill and suffering from prolonged disease and unbearable pain. We thus give respite to the patient autonomy and choice alongside preserving their dignity at the end of their life. On the other side, it seems as murder when it involves the moral responsibility of healthcare professionals, as sins and Hippocratic oath where medical practitioners are meant to preserve life. Other than that, it also opposed to religious and cultural belief. Moreover, we fear that legalizing euthanasia could lead to abuse, pressure on vulnerable people, and a devaluation of life. After having examined the definition, the legal status, and the ethical perspective of euthanasia, we can now move on toward a conclusion. To wrap up our speech for today, let us recap a little bit of our earlier session. Euthanasia is the act of deliberately ending a person's life to relieve suffering. There are 4 types of euthanasia and different status of it across the country. There are a few legal and ethical considerations that are making euthanasia is on the blurry line for some medical practitioners. Euthanasia is also remain a sensitive topic that requires a careful consideration to both human suffering and moral responsibilities. At the end of it, it us who decides on what to think of the act of euthanasia itself. So, think it wisely. Is it mercy or murder? That's all from me. Thank you.